What's up everybody, Brett here, and we are back for episode 4 of our Let's Play of the new Beast and Exploration DLC for Battle Brothers. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the previous 3 videos. We had some ups and downs, a couple really fun battles. We've seen a bit of the new stuff. We've got a glimpse of some of the things that the DLC has to offer. We've slain some spiders, some orcs, some ghouls, lots of bandits, and now we're on an escort mission that'll take us back to the Heartland here, all the way down to Stinwald. There's something new. I didn't notice this before. As part of this escort caravan, provisions for the way are provided to your men. So that's something that didn't used to be there, but it's a very nice change. In the past, you wouldn't take missions like this because they take so long to do. You kind of break even in cost. You end up spending a ton of food, tons of daily wages, trying to pay your guys. Also, you can not take battles, not get any gold or experience, and travel all the way down to somewhere else. And the only time it was ever worth it was if you were trying to go there anyway, and then sometimes it was kind of just like a free ride. But having the provisions provided, that's a pretty nice change. And so I think we're just gonna speed it up here and move on in. So someone commented that the Jagged Fangs are no longer really the best way to gauge the trade ability of your resources in a city, and they pointed out that the round shield, the wooden shield, is actually a bit better for that. So it's worth 100 as opposed to the 200 of the Jagged Fangs. So it seems to me as if they rounded off a lot of the costs of these items. Like this is 200, this is 300, this is 200, this is 100. I mean, it seems like they kind of went ahead and did that, which is all fine for me. Even the bow, like look at this, is 600, very even pricing, which makes sense. So we should be able to just keep a wooden shield in our inventory, and that can tell us whether or not we are getting good trade. It would be nice if there was some sort of feature that was like a percentage-based thing. It was like, hey, this is 75%, 80%, 110%. That would be nice. Maybe a bit too hand-holdy. I could see that. And let's make it to Stinwald. Hopefully they have a good quest for us. I was hoping not to get there at nighttime, and we barely made it. So now they're also well supplied. So thanks for getting us here, Sellsword. Thanks for not betraying us and slaughter us to a man. Yeah, well, we didn't kill you. We don't like to betray our word here. And they are now well supplied. Let's see what they have. Their prices should be pretty good. And yeah, I'm tempted to pick up a wooden shield just to have it. Oh yeah. So the padded leather, we've paid about 300 for this in the past. And this is now 200. Also very tempting to get one of these Akaton caps. Even some more bandages. And we only have 3 days worth of provisions, so we're going to want to grab something. Like we can get some fish. So up to 4, it's not as bad. We may want to grab tools as well. And do we have anyone on the front line? Yes. So we can now free up this Gambeson to go to someone who needs it. I think this is our worst piece of armor, the rugged surcoat. And we certainly want Raymond to have some good armor because he is a bro. Even though he does have minus 10 initiative, which is just pitiful. His stars are in kind of all the right places, so we want to keep him alive if we can. Alright, anything else? We could grab some beer. Beer is good as opposed to like dried fish and things like this. They have spoil timers, as you'll notice will spoil in 8 days, 7 days, 8 days. Alcohol takes longer to spoil, and it usually costs more. So if you're trying to go for maximum use on your provisions, you want to diversify your provisions. Take 1 or 2 things that spoil quickly, a few things that spoil, in 9 to 10 days, and then you get some alcohol that spoils in 10 plus days. And if you go out on a long trek into the mountains and stuff where you won't be in a major city for a while, you won't run out of food. So I think we need to get some tools. 10 is not enough. I mean, 1 fight and we'll be out of tools. But they do have a decent supply of guys for us. We could get Sorrel the Fisher Another fisherman. Seems like our team is made up entirely of fishermen. We've had some bad luck, unfortunately, with stats. Oh, what is this? War dog armor? Huh. Well, these... Okay, so for those of you who've never seen the kennel before, war dogs are kind of like an item, right? So they'll probably go into this slot here since the changes, which is kind of where they always went. But they're like something you can use in battle, and they're not consumed upon use. So you use them, they fight. If they die, you know, which is unfortunate, and you're out a good bit of gold. But they're pretty useful. I like to use them in late game scenarios where I'm fighting, let's say, orcs, and I want to get a surround, but I don't have enough guys. I just pop down a bunch of armored war dogs, and if the orcs start swinging at dogs instead of me and killing my guys, I'll take it. You know, I'll lose a couple hundred gold in a battle to not lose a single battle brother in the late game. And they're so cheap. Their prices have been reduced by quite a bit, and they're also wow, they're also undercosted right now. So they're worth 400, but they're selling them to me for 300 because they're well supplied. I'm very tempted to pick one up just to show you guys. Before we do that, are there any quests here? There are not. Or contracts, rather. I want to make sure we have enough gold. I don't want to kind of overextend myself. I would certainly prioritize getting a new brother over getting a war dog normally. But man, do I want a war dog. Yeah, we're going to get one. And we have Grizzle. 2 Grizzles? Grizzles for shizzle. And we have Bitter. That's a cool name for a war dog, Bitter. So I'm assuming this armor, we basically just, because it's 150 and 150 and these are 300, and they look, of course the item looks identical. I think we can get this and then just make one of these guys the exact same as this for the same price, which is a lot less chaotic, I think, than some of these. These numbers used to feel so arbitrary, but now that they're well-rounded, it feels much better. And we're going to get Bitter. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, what's up, Bitter? And we're going to give Bitter to... We're probably going to give him to Hondo. And then if Hondo ever gets surrounded as a... He sits out on the wings. There are times when we want him in the front line to kind of confuse our enemies and force them to want to kind of spread out around us. And let's see here, we need to rearrange our formation a bit. We want our spearmen on the edges. And there are going to be times when he's going to be tucked safely back here behind our shield wall. But in times where our enemies are trying to surround us, get into our archers, War Dog is pretty sweet to have. And he's also near leveling, so that one's for you, Hondo. And I think we're good to go here. We're going to leave that fisherman there. I'm tired of picking up crummy fishermen and having them be greedy and gluttonous and have horrible stats. So let's just move on from here and get back to the nearest place that may have a quest for us. And if we can take a quest, some sort of battle off the road here, I think we should try and do that. Let's just get into the wild for a second. Speed it up. So when we sped it up, he like changed his course. That's very strange. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. And okay, so we have some quests here. What do they have going on? They're rebuilding, and they have ambush trade routes. So the prices here should be very expensive, and they are. We don't want to buy anything from here. It's nice. Wow, they're really selling some cheap padded leather. Ugh. That's our early game, you know, armor for us. That's what we want. We may... They're all damaged, which is also good and bad. Tools are very expensive at this stage in the game for us. So having to repair them means that we're not exactly getting a good deal. Sellsword's armor. That's pretty sweet looking. This is a new armor, as well as the leather scale armor. Very cool. Okay. We also don't have enough gold. We just need to take a contract and move on. And we may actually want to drink around at the tavern. I noticed our morale is very low. A man approaches. Brigand at large. Okay. So getting the feeling he wants us to take out some kind of thug. Northeast of Burnham. So we will certainly take that. And so I told you guys that if you wanted to, you could give me a name suggestion and even tell me like a description of what you want your guy to look like. And Hondo the Brutal is our only named character so far, thanks to a new subscriber. And I kind of was thinking, if you've never seen the game before, you've never seen the Barber before. So I wanted to kind of just do a quick like rundown of what we can make our characters look like. And someone who's the Brutal, we need to make him look pretty sweet. Make him a big, bald-headed guy with a power mustache. Yes. Make him super muscular. And give him some Celtic tattoos. Except. Alright, Hondo. You are now amazing looking. And let's see how much it costs to drink. 66, and it only put 2 of them in good spirits. Maybe not worth it, but now you know kind of how that works, and we go into this menu here and we can see that he is in good spirits, as well as Wilric. If you keep drinking, you can eventually get drunk, which gives you some negative combat stats. So dire wolves, 3 of them. We're going to take this fight. Hopefully we'll take it without the militia. We don't really want them getting the kills. That's okay. And this is a good chance to show you guys how things like reinforcements work, as well as to showcase the dire wolves as an enemy you may not have seen before. So the militia, they all have these red arm scarves to kind of show what they are. And I think we're going to get one of these kills here, which is nice because if they get the kill, then they get the experience. Or, you know, they're NPCs. They won't get any experience, but we won't get any experience at all. So we want to make sure we get some of the kills. And we want the items as well. They drop their fur, which is somewhat valuable. And now that crafting is a thing, we can make it into something, hopefully. And dire wolves have excellent DPS, but they're very weak against a shield wall. So there we got strange meat, which I don't think they used to drop strange meat. And we're also not going to worry about friendly fire. These are not our units. But yeah, if we were to try to attack this town at some point, the militiamen could jump out and defend it. And they're pretty tough. You'll see here they're in kind of armor and gear very equivalent to ours. And you know what? We are going to... Oh, I need 3 AP for that. Or does he just not have any room? Oh, he just doesn't have any room to drop him. Okay. I was confused. So I needed a space around me to drop the war dog. I just wanted to show him to you guys so you can see what our new buddy looks like. Bitter. Bitter, the war pup. Yeah, and I'm not at all surprised to see the dire wolves killing them. They attack a ton of times in a row, and they do decent damage. And these dudes are all very unarmored. And that's exactly what dire wolves excel at fighting. We just want to get this kill. Yeah, we're not worried about their units. I don't want to intentionally kill them, of course, but if this were a much larger fight, we would be doing everything we could to work together with them. So you'll see there we didn't get any items. There's no items dropped because we did not get the kill. I don't know how much experience one dire wolf is. Fights like this are sometimes not worth it. But for those of you who don't play Battle Brothers on the regular, you have not seen a dire wolf before. And they can be scary when there's, 12 of them. They're very fast. They can move up on your front lines before you get a chance to set up. And they have a tendency to kind of gang up. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get this kill. He's too heavily surrounded. We can just keep passing. And it's over. We'll just call it. So, 57 experience on the person who got the kill, and then 14 on everyone else, which was all we needed to level up Hondo, which is cool. And I don't know what we're going to do about that strange meat. If you keep that in your inventory, you can get some pretty weird kind of like story missions that happen if your guys start eating strange meat. So Hondo, let's see what we got for you, buddy. The big thing is going to be, if we want to make Hondo a lone wolf type character, then Brawny is going to be a necessity. And we can kind of take it from there. Now we've unlocked the masteries of different weaponry. Since we don't know what our better weapons are going to look like if we manage to pick up some kind of great sword early on, then we can say, you know what, he's going to wield a great sword. It's our best weapon. It'll be our best weapon for a long time. And we'll give him sword mastery. You know, boom. There you go. But we'll hold off on this until we have a better idea, because we could end up giving him a warhammer or some kind of great axe. And yeah, so we don't want to put a point in this right away. But Brawny is going to be necessary to help him with his fatigue issues as he wears heavier and heavier armor. In one of my personal playthroughs, these are all such very good rolls. We're going to take the 2 in melee defense. We need to start getting his melee defense up. And we want him to have very good fatigue. We're going to take a 4 roll in fatigue. We'll probably get more 4 rolls in resolve, I imagine. But that was very good. 3, 2, and 4 are very good stats. But in one of my older playthroughs, I made a pretty awesome lone wolf character, named him after myself, of course. And then very early on in the game, I found the Lindworm armor. I found the chest piece, and I found the helmet. And my guy was just an absolute tank with Brawny, Battleforge, and all the other kind of lone wolf, underdog, overwhelm. And he had a great sword. And man, I would just kill lots of people. And I could just set him up so far away from the rest of my forces that he would draw lots of fire. And now we want to go up. And it was just a fun strategy to do. It was something different. Pretty sure there are some strategies that you can make around like having an entire squad of light armor. And it looks like they have some bandits maybe that left the camp. I know I remember reading in some of the dev updates that there's been some changes to how the camps work. You don't want to like just sit right next to them. Before you could usually get away with encamping next to them. We'll just pass here. We could take an aim shot at 50%, but we're going to let them come to us. Yeah, and they're going to move around, which is fine. Pass, pass, pass. Yeah, you could camp right outside their little outposts, and nothing bad would really happen to you. Sometimes a small army would come out, but you kind of hope they would, because then you fought them in like a little ambush type fight, which wasn't really that bad. And after you wiped them, you could move into the outpost and they would have much fewer numbers. So I think it still works like that. Man, we could have used that kill. I think that would have driven morale pretty low for the enemy, and we're just missing a ton. Unfortunate. Let's spear wall and shield wall on the end here. I have a feeling they're going to move in. And we'll shield wall next to him just to buff his shield wall. And I think that's going to be good. Really don't want to be missing that many shots with our archers. There we go, spear wall doing work. And you'll see there he raised his shield before he moved into melee. I think that gives you a better chance at making it through the spear wall. So here we have the opportunity to split his shield. And also we have the opportunity to knock him back. And if we knock him back, it cancels his shield wall. Let's see if that works. And it didn't work. So let's split his shield. And we didn't get it. So that sucks. Kill him. There we go. We want to start triggering these morale penalties. Yeah, had a feeling we could get a big hit on him. And lots of shields are up. So lots of kind of bad targets for us to shoot at. We'll take 15%. Move one. Man. Can't wait till our archers are a bit better quality. And we can move up one here. Raise a shield. Move in here. Raise a shield. And we'll just continue to raise our shields. Yeah, want to get him injured. He's got pierced arm muscles, cut artery, and he's breaking. And bleeding. Okay. And that should be fine. And we still have an attack, which is good. So let's focus on the one we have surrounded. Our odds of hitting him were much higher. Okay. Let's move in. What do we have? 36%, 41%. Let's take the 41%. Didn't get it. Man. So if the War Dog gets the kill, I'm pretty sure we miss out on some experience. So we're not going to use the War Dog quite yet. So the good thing about shield walls is that they are burning up our enemy's fatigue. Wow. Man, not having better helmets right now is really scary. And missing just a million shots is also quite bad. This guy should have been dead quite some time ago. Yeah, let's just take the swings. Please die. Thank you. Yeah, don't want to lose Hondo in some like silly fight with a peasant bandit. That would be kind of rough. So let's get our War Dog down. And they have really good speed. And they pretty much always go first, if I remember correctly. We'll go up and around here. We could have jumped in, but I don't want to quite jump in just yet. So yeah, expect the dog to go first. Every hit also applies bits of fatigue. Man, I was hoping to get a hit there. Nice. Put some damage on the armor. And now we want to move in here and take a shot. There we go. We're getting him a bit surrounded. Don't kill our dog. Yeah, okay. Despite having armor, the dog is still pretty vulnerable. So a full surround. And that should be all she wrote for this dude. But he does still have his shield raised. And we'll move in. Okay. So I would expect that we get him this round. We just don't want the dog to get the kill necessarily. Reload. There we go. Okay. So Hondo has a ripped ear, which only will last a few days, but that'll heal up. So we got some more shields. 210 gold. We really needed that, and more tools, which we also needed. And we got back a good bit of ammunition that we kind of wasted in that fight, trying to take dudes down. And some beer. So that was all around good. We got a ton of provisions. Just things we actually needed. As opposed to some stuff that won't sell very well. And now when we turn this in, we'll be back up to around 1,000 crowns. Which is a nice comfortable number. You know, let's kind of zoom out here. There was a tier 2 contract in Brunenland. But I'm not sure if it's not time we should visit maybe like Damwald. But now they no longer have ambush trade routes. I don't know exactly if that makes things less expensive, and it does. Okay. So these were in the 500s before, if you'll remember. And now they're much cheaper. So this is 99. I don't think we can pass that up. These leather caps would be nice to have. We're going to hold on to these shields. We're going to hold on to the spears. We're going to sell off the strange meat. We don't want our bros eating that. And this is up to almost 40. So we know we're getting decent prices when we sell things here, which is nice. And I'm tempted to buy like all 3 of these, but I think we're just going to buy. And because tools are so valuable, I don't think it's worth it to spend a couple tools to repair this. I think the prices probably even out. So we can just get the one that's not damaged. We might actually get all 3. Let's see what we have here. I mean, it's 10. It's 10 durability better. And we can honestly sell off 2 of these. We want to keep 1 spare set of armor for if we pick up another brother. So let's sell those off. Give ourselves a little bit more gold. This is super cheap. I mean, I feel like we almost have to buy it at this point. And there we go. So we can keep the blotched gambeson. It's our best backup. And it's very tempting to sell some of these. We haven't made it to... Let's see, where was the taxidermist? One of these cities had a taxidermist. Friedewald. Okay. We might head back to Friedewald, see if they have a good quest for us, and see if we can make use of the taxidermist to make our first item. I think that would be pretty fun. But before we do that, let's see what this quest is. Okay, so it looks like another delivery. Let's see how much they want to give us. 500. We can accept it. It's about a day to the northeast. Let's say we need some time to think about it. We'll pause it. Let's see exactly where it is. Oh, they want us to go all the way top? Oh, I don't think so. That's a bit far, sir. We are going to go to Friedewald. And if Friedewald doesn't have what we need in terms of quests, then I think we're going to head to Damwald. And I think we could probably pick up some pretty cool beast fights around the forested region. So they have ambush trade routes as well. Anyone for hire? A wild man, very expensive. A poacher would have been nice. A hunter as well. So lots of good ranged characters. Really wish we hadn't bought those 2 bowlers. We couldn't possibly have known how terrible they would be early on. So we have to pay 100. So we can make our own poison. This doesn't say it's consumed on use. It says usable in combat. I'm very tempted. How much do we pay a day? So, okay. Let's craft this. And we got an achievement. I made this. Cool. And I'm tempted to also get an antidote just to have made it. So now, every time we want to make it, we do still need to... I was hoping there'd be some kind of benefit to, like, having done the recipe. Maybe we wouldn't need to pay an upfront cost or something like that. We just needed the ingredients. That would be kind of cool. I want to have at least 3 days worth of supplies. I don't think we're going to get something else. But let's check out the poison. If this is not consumable, this could be very good. So in the past, the poisons were like consumed on use, right? You could pick up poison from goblin fights, and it was a cool idea, and it was something that I always felt like was just a little bit poorly implemented. Maybe they felt like for balance reasons, it could be a bit overpowered. Who has our best range skill? So you both kind of suck, but Edgel certainly does. So where does this go? What slot? Huh. It's not like an item. Or whatever this... Interesting. We'll see how this works. We should be able to use it while we still have our bow out. I don't think we need to use something like Quick Hands to go and hold a knife plus poison. I think we'll be able to get into combat. First turn, apply poison to our hunting bow. And we want it on something like a hunting bow as opposed to the crossbow, because we are able to take 2 shots with a hunting bow. And those 2 shots, we could spread them out, potentially apply poison to multiple enemies. And if it's working the way I hope it works, this could be very powerful to get early on. And honestly, it makes me want to go hunt down some more spiders. And I'm pretty glad I didn't sell any of these. I think If we had enough Gossamer, we could probably make nets too, or some very strong nets. I think there are different tiers of nets now, so that's kind of worth knowing. So, Ewald, let's get you student. Hopefully you don't die in the meantime. Wait, are you... Oh, he has fear of greenskins. Okay. Pitiful resolve, which is just... I mean, that's just awful. We'll take 2 there, 4 here, and we'll give him a little bit of HP, because we're certainly going to get him Colossus next. And anytime we get a 3 on resolve, we have to take it. We have to get him over 40, or else he'll just turn and run some fights, which we certainly don't want. This is the dude that's gluttonous and disloyal, so he's eating all our food and he's talking crap behind our backs all at the same time. Ugh. We'll take 3s and 4s here in his defensive stats, and we'll take... Tempted to get resolve, but he has a star in it, so I would expect to see some 3s and 4s in the future. 3 here on fatigue is not bad. Let's take a 4 in health. Get him up to 60 next turn. Next time he levels, which is soon, he'll get the Colossus, and he'll be kind of safe at that point. So another escort mission. Lots of unsavory traders here. Let's accept the offer. And he wants us to go to Tarsdorf. We need some time to think about it, and let's zoom out, pause the game. Yeah, I figured. So that one wanted us to go to Brookstadt, and this one wants us to go to Tarsdorf. The problem is, if you look at it, you're like, oh, it's just like a straight little walk here. But the problem is, he's going to want to take the road. So we'll either go all the way here, and then up, or we'll go all the way there and up. Our provisions are provided for, probably. Seems to be the case. But we only have 3 days worth of gold. So I think we're going to break even. We're just going to get into a new place. Let's take this. This seems fine. The fact that we're not going to starve to death along the way. And this is just... I mean, we're getting ourselves reputation. And making ourselves friendly. Oh, okay, so it's a deliver cargo. I'm sorry. So not an escort trade caravan. We can actually just walk. So, and also that means our provisions are not provided for. But that's fine. That's fine. Getting spoiled there with the trading caravans feeding us. But we can come up here. Maybe we'll be able to take a fight on the way. That would make this pretty worth it. Taking kind of some weird routes here. Just want them to go straight. Speed it up a bit and be ready to slow it down if we need to. If we run into some huge stack of something, we don't want to necessarily take that fight. Alright, so not eventful. Feels like there's not a lot of enemies out and about. Hilmar the Wise. Yeah, just give me the gold, man. Not sure I would make it. So they are selling peat bricks and some decently cheap tools. Nothing good in their marketplace. See if they have any good hires. A wild man at level 2. We don't really have the gold for that. And this is a day teller. He's super cheap. I mean, we could just pick him up, hand him a spear and a shield, and throw some armor on him and buy him a hat. And call it a day. Harold, what's your backstory, man? Maybe you'll endear yourself to us. Doing this and that, Harold is known as a day teller, someone to ask whenever an extra hand is needed. There was little work to be had these past weeks, so a traveling mercenary company seems a good opportunity to get him to the next village. So he's not really offensive in any way. I think he'll just probably have very poor stats based on his pay. But he doesn't... He's so cheap, he's almost like not even a risk. If he sucks, we could probably just throw him away. So he's Craven and Night Blind. God. Super high fatigue, super low resolve. No good. Yeah. So check this out, buddy. You're going to stand on the edge here, and if you die, you die. If he dies, he dies. So let's give him, we'll get him a cheap hood. And there we go. Okay. Check out what the quest was, actually, before we leave. Hopefully it's not another escort. 3 days traveling? Oh my god, more traveling. We just want to fight. Probably taking us all the way to the south. Yeah, we're not getting very lucky with our questing. Oh. Okay, so some more ghouls. We get a chance to redeem ourselves against them. They don't have a tier 3 ghoul with them, who are the much more dangerous kind, as you saw in that previous battle. So we should be able to corral 6 of the level 1 variety. And as I mentioned last time, we don't necessarily want to kill any of them right off the bat. Such low shots. Okay, that's good. We want to get them about right there in their health. And then they charge in and they get shish kebabbed on our spear wall. So now we have poison. Let's see how this works. So, costs 4 AP to use and builds up 15 fatigue. Okay. The next 4 attacks will apply the poison status effect for 10 damage per turn. I'm tempted to use it just to see how it works. Once again, it doesn't say it's consumed on use, and I don't think it is, but it's too expensive to take the risk. Next time we're in a fight with maybe some raiders or something, I'm going to pop this. I think now also we can just, you know, take some shots. And let's wait. Spear wall. Yeah, I kind of just want to pass for him. Save the fatigue. We really don't want to kill these 2 back here, because then the other 2 will just eat him. And that'll be rough. And if we kill this guy, we want to step forward and stand over his corpse so that its buddies can't eat it. So boom, we killed him, reload, and we're going to step up and take a shot on him. Fortunately, we missed. But that's okay. We can still get a pick here. Let's move up. Bad shots. And we killed him, so we certainly want to move up again. Nice. Yes, there we go. And you kind of have to corral them. You cannot just kind of let them sit back and leave them alone. Tempting to throw out my war dog there. I don't want to risk them in this kind of fight. They do a good bit of damage for what they are. And yeah, we're also putting some morale penalties on them. And we're standing on top of that other corpse, not giving him an opportunity to heal. It's a really big deal, because they can snowball. I mean, if they stand here, they eat, and then they go here and they eat. Next thing you know, we've got a tier 3 guy who can swallow one of our dudes whole. See what they do. No big damage, please. Yeah, Hondo still has his ripped ear. Alright. And we want to try and hit the guys that are on our own, like, field, our own terrain level. We have better chances of hitting them. Alright. Tons of misses. It must be like nighttime right now, because our accuracy seems even lower than usual. And this fight's over, thankfully. We're going to get some experience, hopefully some crafting stuff, and we make it out unscathed. So decent experience on everybody. Adler is leveling. So we have some horns. These are new. and some more fangs. I'm not sure what we can make with that, and unfortunately we just left the taxidermist behind. We have a good bit of gold. We can kind of explore for a day or two and come up here to Brookstedt and check out what kind of contracts they might have for us. So a level 1. They have a taxidermist here, and a Fletcher, and a tavern. Let's go to the tavern and see if they have anything about no. Sometimes you'll read this and it'll be like, "Hey buddy, I heard there was some super sweet armor up in the mountains to the east." And you kind of go into the east, you find a really strong fortress or something, you take it down, and then in the end of that, you'll get some awesome armor or something like that. So more... Oh my god. We'll accept his offer, tell him we need some time to think about it. We may end up doing that just because it's going to bring us here. And if there are no good contracts here, then we need to move on regardless. More cargo delivery. See if they'll pay us more. They will not. So just tons of escorting. I mean, it's decent pay. Where did he want us to go? To the southeast. Oh, the place with the worst name in history. Senftenberg. Yeah, all the way down there. Jesus. Kind of was hoping to come up here and check out these 3 cities. So we might take the first quest and see how that works. Let's camp until dusk, which should be, or dawn rather, should be right around the corner. And now we can kind of see what the city has to offer. And if we're able to forge something. Whoa, what is this? Wow, that's cool. And very expensive. So it increases resolve by 4. Oh, I feel like we have to make this. Can we sell some stuff just to make sure we have... And we also... So apparently horns are an ingredient to make paint. Interesting. This is very expensive for what it does. Full resolve is really not that much resolve. Before we do anything, let's see the prices here. So they're buying for a lot. But they're also selling for very expensive. So you'll see here like 309 where we were picking these up for like 200 in one of the last cities. But they're buying for a lot. Probably one of their one of the effects they have here. Public executions. Okay, so food is abundant, but the prices are probably bad. And they have ambush trade routes. Check out the tavern. Okay. Nothing there. There's also a temple. We could heal the ripped ear, but that'll be healed on its own in a day or two, thanks to our abundance of medical supplies. So I'm very tempted. Yeah, can we sell anything? I'm tempted to sell off this gossamer. But I also want to see what it could do for us. We only have 2 days worth of provisions. Or, yeah, we need some food. Probably more than we need anything else. Oh, here's a new weapon for us. The Golden Dag? It's a spear mace. What the heck is this? What the heck? That's pretty cool. I don't remember checking this one out. They have the throwing spears, which are new. But a spear mace. What a unique thing that is. So I really don't want to buy food from this place. They are ridiculously expensive. Let's make a decision here. We'll sell one gossamer, because I feel like, I mean, we're going to fight more spiders. And we're going to make this trophy necklace. Because boy, that's cool. And which slot does it fit in? I'm assuming it fits in only that slot. And it actually appears on their body. That's cool. Does the dog change the model? It doesn't. Okay. So we want to see who has kind of maybe bad resolve, but also someone that we don't actually want to die. So much poor resolve on this team. Let's give it to Egil here. He now has our poison, our best bow, and our necklace. And we can level up Adler. Please, I was about to say, please give me some better rolls there. And he is an archer. That's a pretty sick +4 there. And he needs fatigue badly. He has 3 stars in melee defense, so we'll be able to get this number much higher soon. But we need to get him over 100 fatigue, or else he'll begin to suck at shooting his bow. Certainly, once we get him in better armor, that'll be rough. So okay, so I'm pretty happy this episode. We've made some good stuff. We haven't taken too many fights, and now we're on a trading caravan with 6 dudes, I think some of which are donkeys, probably 2 donkeys, and some peasant tier fighters. If we get ambushed, we'll get bonuses, but no one's ambushing us. So this is just a straight up 110 gold someone's paying us to make it up here. We are making this city well supplied, which is of course better for us. Unfortunately, we didn't make it in time to check out. They have a weaponsmith as well as an armorer. And I'm not sure what this is. Oh, this is the training hall, which we can use to kind of level. And this is a citadel. So I don't think we can pick up contracts from here quite yet. I would have liked to have not made it there at the worst possible time, though. We do need gold. So let's travel to Eichenberg, I think is how you would say that. And we're all the way north. I mean, we really can't go any farther north than this. Okay, so more taxidermists, another armor, and they have terrified villagers, which I think means, yeah, we can't recruit anyone. He's a tough looking dude. Okay. See what they have for us. Metal plates and rivets. So this is like a really valuable upgrade to a piece of armor. And there's also heraldic shoulder plates. Wow, even more. Cool, so those are unique. Oh, and look at this. The Saleh helmet. It doesn't impair vision. This is a new item. This might be the best archer helmet in the game. Interesting. Because you'll see here, the reinforced male coif, it has less armor than this. The same fatigue, but it also has the -1 vision. It's also significantly cheaper, but the point being, in the late game, when you have as much money as you could possibly want, this will probably be what you put on all of your archers. That is cool. Alright, so I'm seeing lots of new stuff here. Man, I'm excited. Let's organize our inventory there. For my OCD takes hold. And we just checked that. We wanted to check the marketplace because we're running a bit low on food. We'll take whatever they have that's cheap. Yeah, let's just take some grains. And hope that this contract doesn't suck. So that is cool that we have, seemingly we've unlocked the recipe, so to speak. So I think the only benefit to that is we can always see what we need to make it. So of course we haven't unlocked the potion. So we cannot see that. I keep clicking on that. We need to check out this contract and see what we get. Okay, don't be alarmed, Sellsword, but they say ghosts are afoot. Yes, yes, the local peasants are poisoning my mornings with constant talk of ghosts and goblins. So, it's a cemetery, but it's probably guys robbing graves, as usual. See what he wants to pay us. I don't like to haggle until we have really good relations, if I can help it. If I think I'm going to go broke, I'll always haggle. But there's quite a few enemies we haven't faced yet. So we haven't faced the zombie type units. We haven't faced the undead, the auxiliaries, who are kind of like Roman legionnaires. So there are some beast type enemies here. I'm curious what they are. Dire wolves. How many? Oh, we're getting up into... Oh, only 3. Yeah, we're going to take this fight. So they can swim. These are swimming dire wolves. It looked like maybe it just changed to nighttime, which would kind of suck for us because that'll make our archers less effective. So dire wolves don't know anything about spears. And they love running into spear walls and shield walls. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to really drain our fatigue, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we hopefully don't die. Step out here. Make our formation a bit broader. There we go. Put some damage on one of them. And I haven't really explained why I've staggered my formation with spearmen and then a different type of weapon, spearmen, different type of weapon, spearmen. And it's because the spear wall effect takes place to either side of the spearmen. So right now we're completely covered from here to here with our spears. If that makes sense to you guys. So even the guys that don't have spears are still covered by the nearby spear wall. Man, really unfortunate they're just kind of getting in on our spears. Yeah, this is normally what happens. 3 hits in a row. But we have some good shots here. We're damaging their pelts, which means generally that we probably won't get their pelts as part of... Man, we're just missing everything. As part of our, you know, our loot, post-battle loot. And we want to surround here. They're very susceptible to routing as well. And there we go. We've got 2 of them routing. And now we can step up on that confident one. He's the only one attacking. Hopefully he doesn't do anything terrible. We've almost got him. Pass there. We don't have any good shots. Alright. Every time I shoot an arrow, and I don't really feel like I need to, I always remember that line from Braveheart where the English king tells his one of his generals that the arrows cost money but the dead cost nothing. And I'm just like, man, it's cold-blooded, but arrows are expensive. So if you can not shoot them, you're better off. So what are you doing here, Egil? We can get you Executioner and just knock out this little combo, which I quite like. Your initiative is low because you have Hesitant, which sucks. Otherwise, I would probably give him Dodge. And then he would end up with, like, once he's around 100 initiative, he would have plus 15 of both, which would make him much more survivable in pretty much all circumstances. But we're going to make him much more offensive. With Crippling Strikes plus Executioner plus Poison, he should be pretty deadly with his bow. And yeah, he needs Resolve badly. And honestly, he could probably use 1 point in initiative. That's a pretty big 4, and we'll take that. We do want our archers to go first in most scenarios. Even if we do kind of pass, it's still important. So here, what do we want? Probably still taking Executioner once again. And Fast Adaptation is very good for all those times we're missing. Much better on archers because they do take 2 shots in a row. And if they miss the first shot, the chances of them hitting the next shot are much higher. So getting 4 in range skill is huge. Could also take 4 initiative there. Let's take some fatigue and 4 initiative. And we're setting them up to have dodge as opposed to something like Battle Forged, so that they do have some defensive stats in the late game. It's very important. So they have an unknown garrison here, and I think this is going to be our last fight of... Did we have anyone else that leveled that I missed? No. This is going to be our last fight of the video, I think, guys. And you know what? I'm actually going to camp away. Hopefully no one comes out. I don't think they'll be reinforced if they do come out. We do not want to fight whatever this is at night. We want to fight them during the day. We have 3 archer units. Okay, we spot the grave robbers. Probably just some brigands. Oh, we have raiders. Okay, so 5 raiders. We do have the high ground, though. Okay, if we have to fight 5 raiders, then... Or actually, so 4 raiders and a thug. Okay. So you'll notice these guys have mail armor. They have tier 2 weapons. They have actual helmets. So they're much more dangerous. We're going to take this guy down here. No shield. Kind of easy pickings for us. And yeah, they do a nice little formation up in front of... with their 1 shield guy protecting their 2 non-shielded. But this dude is going to be pretty tough. We're going to want to keep them in front of our shield wall if possible. And we need to get our fisherman buddy out of this hole. That's no good. So now he's kind of like blocking all of our shots. And we have some 32 shots. Let's take this 44. We're not necessarily scared of this thug. He's the weakest person on the field. And also, this is a pretty useless position. They can't come up here, so we need to move all the way around. Yeah, they're not gonna come up here and try and like flank us. That's just not gonna happen. We need to take a look at we need to understand the terrain better. So they're gonna have to step up here. And unfortunately, we can't get there. Let's pass and see if we can move him out of the way. And we may actually want to let them up onto this landing. The thing is, if we kill the thug, we may affect the morale of the weaker guys. Of the stronger guys, that is. And walking through snow is difficult. These types of like patchy snow, they're difficult to maneuver in. So they're just kind of lining up. It's like, I'm sorry guys, I hate to tell you this, but we're not coming to you. You are going to have to come to us. Can we move out? Yes, okay. So spear wall may have been a bit preemptive. Take a 59% chance. He does have the heavy armor. We would love to get their armor. Oh, he pulled out some throwing axes. Okay. And we want to get him all the way around. We want to make a nice little concave here. 33%. Yeah. You take those throwing axes and you get out of here. The pikeman is actually probably the most dangerous. It has a range of 2. And it does a lot of kind of armor-piercing type damage. And I think we're going to leave Hondo back here. Who can we shoot? Yeah, let's try and take out this raider, for God's sakes. Keep up the spear wall. And we want to move him back 1 and let our other spearmen come in. Okay. I think the spear wall will affect this tier here. So let's use it. If not, it's just a bit of wasted fatigue. Yeah, their advance is very slow. It's kind of unfortunate that our archers are so poor. Later in the game, a one-sided terrain position like this is like a guaranteed victory. There, nice. I want to keep them off of these positions for as long as possible. We'll take a 72 all day long. And like I said, he has 2 range on that. So we need to get in there. He's someone we can't actually keep back. So the thug moved in and took care of himself for us, which is nice of him. Mighty nice of him indeed. And we don't have any kind of ranged capability. I wish there's also a perk that gives you the ability to swap. So if we could do some sort of swap here, that would be cool. And then we could push him down with our shields. But we don't have that ability. And we're just going to keep passing. Would love to get this kill. Yeah. Okay, we got it. Not great. We wanted really any of these guys to step up except for him. He made our concave plan pretty much useless. And now he can hit a lot of different people, which is obviously bad for us. And the 2 strongest guys are kind of jamming themselves into this position here. Yeah, expected him to go for our archer. Thankfully he missed. Let's see if they can make it in. Good. So he is able to hit him from that position. That is good to know. And now we're going to start taking shots at this raider here. Hondo, you stay where you are. Oh, and he gets past our spear wall, which is unfortunate. And let's just try and kill him. Nice. Grazed neck, injured shoulder. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Oh, we needed that shot to hit. And now, let's try a knockback. Perfect. Just get him off of our level. And now fatigue is starting to set in for Egil. But our archers are very safe now. There's no tier 2. Oh, and we're going to get the pike. Oh, that's awesome. And we're getting the boar spear. So that's a tier 2 spear. And now we just want to try and get this armor, if that's at all possible. We'll spear wall again. And if he tries to jump back up here, we'll have another chance to get him. It's nice that we have a lot of guys who can push and take them off of the high ground. The poison would be pretty cool here as well. Just pass and pass. Let's see where they move before we move. Yeah, getting this kind of high ground advantage was a complete game changer for us. We'll take a 64. Nice. Did some good piercing damage. Got past his armor. He has the weaker armor of the 2. Nice. And now he's bleeding, so that's perfect. And the spear pierces. 5% chance to hit. That's not very good. Was hoping we would miss and still hit his buddy. Dang. Okay. So we'll stay here. And he's in a nice little pocket here where we can't really get to him. I think he's still going to want to jump up. So let's just wait. He's going to have to get past that spear wall to help his ally. And in the meantime, we're just going to shoot him up and poke him with spears. We'll wait and wait and wait. They're still very dangerous, though. They're not out of this fight. They have 2 very strong weapons. Nice. So we lowered his initiative. We know what that injury does. Oh, that sucks. So, and he's also shield walled, so he's going to be harder to hit. And we didn't have enough to shield wall ourselves. So this is pretty dangerous. We want to take this guy out. Dang. Okay, we need to move in. We need to give them other targets. And of course he gets some big hits on us. Even if it means getting into more vulnerable positions, we don't want to lose Burnfried. So yeah, we also make him rout. So that's awesome. That's what we needed. We need to get in on this fight. And we need our archers not to miss pretty much at all. Can't get down there. We can't really go anywhere. Okay. And we can't move him without taking a shot. And he could end up hitting us in the head, which could be very scary. Okay. What can we do? We can surround him just to make sure that when he does try and move, we can kill him. We can knock him back. Didn't work. Let's try and hit him. That didn't work as well. That was all worth a shot. Please don't kill Burnfried. Damn. Tense. Another tense moment here for us. And we're going to shield wall. Hopefully we will not die in this godforsaken land. So they're both broken. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. And he's out of arrows, so it's kind of like just in time. He also needs a knife. Gotta remember to put a knife on my archers. So they should try and run. We should get the kills. And nothing to it but to sit here now and just pass. Hopefully we get the armor. We really want their armor. Yeah, you better believe we're going to run them down. Do you have a knife? You do. So one of these pierces, let's see. Ignores all armor. Nice. Did we get your armor? I don't think so. Maybe. It's hard to tell. But we did do what we were trying to do, which is nice. And he doesn't have... Okay. So lots of experience. A good fight for us. And we got a pike, a boar spear, and a falchion. Man. Could have used even a helmet there would have been nice. Any kind of armor would have been nice. But I'm just happy to have made it out of there alive. So that was a pretty cool like tier 2 fight for us. Because it's beginner mode, there wasn't like 10 of them. If you start playing on some of the harder difficulties, fights like that will be much more difficult. And we probably would have lost a brother there. We also probably wouldn't have taken that contract to begin with as a tier 2 contract because we would have guessed there would be raiders for sure. So we're going to get a nice payday for that battle and some good experience. They no longer have terrified villagers. So in a few days or two, I think they'll have more options for hiring. Do you like us? Will you sell us stuff at better prices? A little bit better prices. And the salt's kind of fairly priced. We do need tools. 200 gold is a good price for tools. And we got an adrenaline gland from the direwolf fight. Sell that. Don't want to hold on to strange meat. And we'll buy some cheese. So we have a fair diversity of food. Hopefully we'll get that buff that makes all of our guys have higher morale for taking that. And at this point, let's come into here. Let's give him a regular shield. And we want to start trading out. So I think Burnfried is one of our solid guys. Wilric is also very good, which is why he's holding the sword. Guntbert is a bro, so he is going to get our very first boar spear. And I like that a lot. And we can make someone else a pikeman. This pike is going on somebody. This is like one of the best weapons that we currently have. And he can use the falchion as well. Something like that. Okay. We have a few levels to knock out. Let's get Colossus. See what we have in terms of points. We'll take a 2 and a 3 and a 3 here. Get him up over 40 morale. That seems fine. And okay, so we have some choices here. I think we're going to take Shield Expert. Well, you know, Welric could end up being a two-hander. So let's hold off on Shield Expert. And let's instead get him Brawny, which will be good no matter what he takes. And as he kind of shapes out, let's see what kind of weapons and stuff we get. He's already up to 63 melee skill, which is decent. And we can get some fatigue and some resolve on him. So that's good. He's shaping up to be one of our stronger characters. Just the fact that he doesn't have any negative traits makes him better than some of our other guys. Welric here. Take Colossus on you. That's 15 HP. That's pretty good. And I think we'll take 2, 2. And let's take a 4 here. And we'll eventually get him up over 40 resolve. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Up to 80 HP. Much more survivable. And I don't think there's anything else to do here, guys. I think we pretty much nailed it. We'll make sure we give someone else the pike. Maybe keep these throwing axes. I generally sell these. We'll sell that for sure. But yeah, good haul here today. We've got lots of experience. We made it up to 10 Battle Brothers. We haven't lost anyone today. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at... I can pause this. Take a look at this feature of the game, the obituary. So you can see who died, how they died, how many kills they had, how many battles they were in. Ripped to shreds by the ghouls, killed by a brigand thug. So expect this list to get longer as we go through the playthrough, but not too much longer. I think I've done some playthroughs where I've lost only 1 or 2 guys. Managed to get a good crew early on and then keep them alive. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I have, a little bit over 20 subscribers right now. I appreciate every single subscriber that I get. And I kind of know you by name. If you want to leave comments in the comment section, I will respond. I can guarantee that. And like the video if you did like it. Leave a suggestion if you think there's something I could improve on. Always looking to get better. Right now I play this game basically for pure love. No one pays me to do this. It's just my free time. And just my want to share this kind of cool hidden gem with the world. So yeah, guys, without any further ado, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.